What's the worst way to break up with someone? She started making out with another dude while we were at a party, all sitting on the same couch. That deflates the romance pretty quickly. Dude sent me a screenshot of him with my girl laying on his chest on Valentine's Day while I was overnight in a hotel for work many hours away. Christmas Eve my ex got all of her gifts because we wouldn't see each other the next day because she would be busy. Turns out she had been cheating on me with another guy and she just wanted to get her gifts. After packing everything she says, "Oh yeah, we are done, I'm seeing someone else," and left. We were together for several years and engaged at that point, but at least I got the ring back. In a group text. Please tell me it didn't happen to you, cause that's a brew moment. Make the decision hastily. Tell everyone but them. Ghost them. Then send them an email to not the primary email that they don't check. Show up at their doorstep a week later asking to have them back. I found out my ex and I weren't together after he posted an Instagram picture with his best friend of 3 years saying it only took me 3 years to ask her out. Leave and never return. Don't send any messages. Block them from all social media. Never tell them the reason. Losing someone who you thought was fine with you so suddenly in such a quiet and confusing way will really f someone's anxiety and self-esteem. Yep, my fiancé of 7 years, friends for 15 years, aka half of our lives, left while I was sleeping, took everything, never told me why, and it was the most horrifying, mentally damaging experience of my life. You have to really not give a about someone to hurt them like that. My college roommate spent an entire weekend with his girlfriend from another state knowing he was going to break up with her. When he took her to drop off at the train station on Sunday, he waited until she was leaning in with the car door open to kiss him goodbye. Broke the news instead of kissing her. Didn't even unbuckle and get out. She stood there stunned with bags on the curb and he closed the door and drove off. I thought that was pretty shitty. By notarized letter. But what if the person you want to break up with is your notary? By marrying their sister. Go into a public place and act like everything is normal. Then pat yourself down as if you're looking for something. Start frantically looking under and inside of random objects. When you feel an appropriate amount of time has passed, go back and tell them you've lost your feelings for them. She had her mom do it for her. My former girlfriend came from an obscenely wealthy family and never had to deal with any real-life matters herself. Her folks handled everything. This left her lacking in the maturity department. Her folks never liked me, the poor artist boyfriend wasn't a suitable fit for their daughter, and decided it was time for me to go. Girlfriend's folks had the locks changed on the doors of the condo I'd been sharing with her, which they owned, and her mom was waiting outside when I arrived home from work. She informed me that the relationship was over and that I should gather my things while she waited. What if she told your girlfriend that you came and got all your things and were breaking up with her? Over the internet on Valentine's Day, which also happens to be their birthday. Back in high school 20-ish years ago, I remember hearing about a couple having the following phone conversation. Guy: "Hey, guess who broke up today?" Girl: "Who?" Guy: "Us." Probably either on the second day of a 7-day trip, or on the second hour of a 9-hour bus ride where you still have to be within 10 feet of each other for the rest of the damn trip. Not that I'm bitter or anything. Bottle it. Marry them. Then spend 30+ years together. Over text right after they tell you they have cancer. I don't want to get cancer from you. Sorry. By not even communicating the breakup but still communicating with them, while slowly becoming less and less talkative until they finally figure out that the relationship is over in their own. It's slow torture. Just be honest and straightforward. My boyfriend broke up with me by texting me asking how my day was. I said fine. How was yours? He responded with great, had a fantastic day with my girlfriend. I was at work all day. We had been together for 4 years, and been living together for 2. He had been cheating on me, and decided to leave me for his mistress. Good times. When you're a politician and your wife gets cancer, tell your campaign finance manager, she's not young enough or pretty enough to be the wife of the president. And besides, she has cancer. Then you file for divorce while she's in the hospital. You later file for divorce from your second wife after she's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Pick out another dude you think is a little cute. Him at work a few times. Bring home crabs and chlamydia. Claim that both are really only fleas from my virgin saint of a dog. And spray paint my car for not being cool about everything afterwards because I should know how redheads are. Oh, and then try to kidnap the same dog whose reputation you attempted to besmirch. It's been 12 years now, Stephanie, but I really should buy you a trophy or some shit for that. You crazy redheaded By telling their kid first. The worst way someone has broken up with me copying my comment on a similar post. By not telling me at all. We had been together for 3 to 4 weeks and one day I was just coming home from work and I saw her walking with another dude. I confronted her in front of him and the conversation went something like this. Me. Hey, her name. Who's this? Her. Oh. Hey, this is his name. My boyfriend. Me. Haven't we been in a relationship for like a month now? Her. Ugh, I guess. But we clearly broke up yesterday evening. Me. Visible confusion. We didn't break up that evening. We just had a minor squabble about how we should spend more time together. I was working 12s that week. We even kissed when I was leaving her place and she told me I love you. I was so astounded I couldn't even be mad. Forgot about her in a few weeks and moved on with my life. When you thought you were together, but you found out you in fact were not. Just happened. Her kids love me, and don't know why I'm leaving, because me and her don't see eye to eye on what we are. I didn't really have much feeling about leaving as she didn't think of us as in a relationship. But then I took her 8-year-old son to go disc golf with me one last time, and he expressed his feelings for me, and how he has enjoyed going to swim at the lake, playground, and overall spending time with him. Then started talking about how he likes that I treat his mom nice, and misses having a dad figure. I didn't want to cry until he talked to me about his feelings of me being around, but I didn't cry in front of him. Tell them that they can spend Christmas in your guest room when they visit because someone else will be staying in their room with them. Source. Last Christmas. Sent her, him invitation to your wedding. 27 years or so ago, my ex-wife made love to me. Then right after, while still lying in bed together in the afterglow, she took off her ring and gave it to me and said she wanted a divorce. I couldn't believe she had done it that way, although I was ready for it to be over. She said she thought it would be the nicest way to do it. I thought it was pretty ruthless. Whatever. Interpretive dance. You cheat on them and let them find out so they end the relationship with you. Kisses me goodbye after I dropped him off to get his car. Went to class. Got home and saw all of his stuff was gone. Texted him, in mild panic, asking what was going on. He blocked my number and changed his relationship status on Facebook to single a few days later. We were together for 2.5 years and lived together for 2. So yeah, I think ghosting is pretty shitty. I refuse to do it to anyone. I have to be honest with the person if I expect a person I care about to be honest with me. Take them to any restaurant that sells onion rings. Order said rings. Upon arrival, say, yeah, would onion rings. Leave them the check. Saying we should see other people, right as you climax. Had a friend break up with a girl in Red Robin. Right in the middle of it, the mascot came over to give her a balloon. Comedic timing perfection. Oh, I have a good one. Live together for 2.5 years. Get a hunch about his new friend. Communicate your invalid and irrational feelings. Come home to their bags packed because they couldn't handle the jealousy. And then receive a video of them on a date 2 days later. See them holding hands 5 days after the breakup. After they told you have nothing to worry about her. She's just a friend. Work on your jealousy though. Quote. Was working away in another country for a year and would come back for a week every 3 to 4 months. To make up for being away, I'd spoil her with gifts. Getting flowers delivered to her house. Buying her massage, fuel, food vouchers she could use whenever, etc. This was on top of messaging her and video calling whenever I could despite the unfriendly time zones. Basically, I was doing what I could in the position I was in. The plan was to buy us a house when I got back. It was a whole reason for me taking the job in the first place. The year is up. and I give her my flight details for my last trip home. She wanted to pick me up from the airport, messages me an hour before I get on the plane to tell me she had been cheating with her ex pretty much the entire time I was away, and that we're over because she needs some time to herself. I was bitter and heartbroken but fell on my feet and met the best girl ever a month later. Ended up taking new girlfriend on a year-long world trip with some of the money I'd saved. The ex finds out about this and completely flips her shit, and damn, it still feels good even today. Sending your crazy sibling to do it. A local woman was found murdered today, victim of multiple stab wounds. The murder weapon was left in the body, pinning to a note which read, "Lol, your relationship over. Dude, I just said break up with her for me." Stabbing. Girlfriend of 5 years wanted to move into a new house on the nicer side of town. We looked and found a place nearly twice as expensive but in our price range. The day we got the keys, I went to work for the day, got off work and all her stuff was gone. She said things just weren't working out and moved back home with her parents. We were only 23. Also, she never sent me a penny for rent that year after the breakup. Fun year that was. A friend had her BF break up with her at the start of a 12-hour flight after boarding the plane, so they Saturday together the whole time. Sympathy ended when she got back with him. I joked when they went on vacation again he'd do it again. He did it again. Through text. On their birthday. Murder probably. I got served divorce papers while in a mental hospital. Dying. Overall a lose-lose situation. Having a baby of a different race. This happened to one of my best friends. After he got her to come over and have sex, he drove her home and then broke up with her in the car. It was also her birthday. She still mentions it and honestly I don't blame her. Stolen from Parks and Rec. Be so nice about it they don't even realize you broke up with them. Email. Didn't get my email. Did you check the spam folder? My method was ruthless according to friends. Found out she was cheating, so I ended with a very simple "you are simply not a nice person and I won't subject myself to that." Handwritten note in a Christmas stocking. You, your ex is hot. Them, which one? You, me. In a high school yearbook. I'm still hurt by that. Posting it on Reddit. Did you taste the cyanide in that lemonade? He was supposed to pick me up from the airport, texted to let me know he wouldn't be there, and that we were done as I was boarding the plane. Okay, actual story. Buckle up. My mom had an asshole boyfriend. Last year, my grandmother, her mother, was slowly dying from cancer, eventually ending up in hospice. We were over at her house nearly every day. Needless to say, her asshole boyfriend, who I have years of awful stories about, got mad that she wasn't paying enough attention to him. He ended up ignoring her, and she continued to focus on her mom. So my grandma dies at the end of June. Here comes asshole the next day, telling my mom he's sorry. His daughter, she's dating my brother. Both of them are handicapped. And I know that's weird as that he was dating my mom too. Tells us that her grandpa, his dad, just died very recently too. His dad was in hospice at the same time, but they weren't close. The county fair starts at the beginning of July. Arsehole has my mom go with him for his birthday, spending all this money on him. He used my mom to buy him shit at the fair. A few days later, he makes up something to be mad about and dumps her. Days after her mom died, he also forces my brother and his girlfriend to break up and stop talking. The extra kicker, we found out his dad actually died a month after he said he was dead. He used his daughter and lied to all of us for what? Well, by breaking up with them on the phone, and then realizing they're in the car with their dad, mom, brother and sister. Yeah, don't do that. Ghosting them is the worst way, because that's the way that will hurt the most. Welcome to Dumpville. Population, you. My buddy got dumped mid-vacation in Hawaii. The girl left. He stayed and ate at a fancy restaurant alone despite a reservation for two. Arla forgetting Sarah Marshall. On their birthday. Then 3 years later, again, on their birthday. You have no reason to feel threatened. We're just friends. By the way, I'm pregnant. It's his and we're moving to SC. Hope you understand. 333. Not really a breakup. But I once went on a date with this girl to a nice Mexican restaurant, and she Saturday on her phone the entire time. I asked her all of the questions, tried to learn more about her, but she just gave me one-word answers. So, I said I need to use the restroom, then left her there with the check. Which is funny, because the restrooms were in the opposite way that I was going, but she was too into her phone to glance up. Convince them to move out of state with you. Get them to put in their notice and help you pack. Break up the night before you leave.